What's poppin', world? It's your boy Bishop Man coming to you live from Ganja House Studio. Today we're gonna have our first lesson on Pro Tools and how to basically set up a template to get you guys mixing and recording. So the first thing you wanna do is launch Pro Tools. So yeah, I'm working in Pro Tools 10 because I like it better. I got Pro Tools 11 also. Oh yeah, nice quick tip. If you want to get to the this next dialog screen, you can hold N while Pro Tools is starting up, and it'll take you directly to this little playback engine screen where you can check off for your audio interface. Mine is a Scarlett 2i2 USB. Since I'm not going to be doing anything, I'm going to be working in 1024 samples. If I was recording, then I'd be working in 128 samples. That's basically so I don't get any latency while I'm recording. If you know about latency, that's that little annoying ass drag behind the voice when you're recording. So since I'm not going to be working on anything, I'm just basically building a template. I'm going to be working in 1024 samples. I'm going to click OK. Wait till Pro Tools start up. From there, I'm going to create a blank session because I'm going to be starting all the way from the Tenok, the top. So in that session, I want my audio file type to be a broadcast wave format. That's what that BWF stands for. Since I'm going to be recording wave tracks. My bit depth, I'm going to start it at 16-bit, 44.1 kilohertz. That is CD quality, standard CD quality. And I'm gonna check stereo mix, only because if you get in the habit of clicking last use, somebody can send you a session that the IO, which I'll teach you about that in later lessons, that the IO has been completely tweaked to fit their setup. So once you get that session and you click last used, then your IO is going to set up exactly like their IO was, then you're going to be highly confused. So I would always suggest clicking stereo mix right here, and we're going to click OK. Another thing about audio engineering, recording, mixing, mastering, all in general, main rule of thumb is to have a nice system for file management. What I mean by file management is once you click into one of these folders, how does it look? And I'm not gonna lie, mine is a little bit confused right now because dealing with work, children, and home, and at the same time trying to build upon a studio and a brand and the industry kind of deeted left. But anyway, enough about my tangent. I'm gonna go ahead and save this as a new folder, and I'm gonna call this folder templates underscore Pro Tools. And I'm gonna select that, and I'm gonna press Command C. For Windows, I don't know what that would actually be, but for Mac, to copy something, Command C. So I'm gonna click Create, and I'm gonna press Command V to paste that right there. And I'm gonna click Save. And as you can see, my windows probably are a little bit backwards because I'm working on dual screens here. So I'm gonna put my edit window over here, because that's gonna be the main place we're gonna be working from for right now. And I'm gonna put my mix window on my second monitor. So now basically you have what I like to call a clean canvas. And from here, if you set up a Pro Tools template, first thing you want to want to do is start making your tracks. Your tracks gonna be what you're gonna be recording in. For me, the standard song always starts with the hook. So I normally start making my hook track. So I can press Shift Command N, which is gonna bring up this dialog screen. And for the standard hook, to me, I normally record one lead track, one dub track, one in and out track, and one ad lib track, depending on the song. I mean, it's really song dependent, but you can actually build upon it from there. But those are my four basically starting points when I'm recording. And oh yeah, this is template is gonna be for basically recording. When you're bringing on a new artist, or say if you record yourself, this is basically the template you want to use for recording. Now I can make, I'll probably in later videos make templates for mixing. Say if you're really into audio engineering and you want to bring in and you want to import mixes, then I can make a template probably a little bit later on in my YouTube series about templates for mixing. Excuse me. So yeah, you want basically 4 tracks. So right here I'm gonna create 4 mono tracks, 4 mono audio tracks, and right there I'm gonna click the plus sign, or you could think it's Shift Command N again to bring up a second one, and I'm gonna create 1 stereo aux track to go with those 4 inputs. I mean those 4 mono audio tracks, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit later what this stereo track is for. So I'm gonna create that. Boom. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually no, cancel. I don't want to confuse you guys or jump ahead. So as you can see, I have all my tracks selected right here. So I'm gonna deselect those. I'm gonna hold down the Option key on Mac, and I'm gonna click right here so that deselects all the tracks. Now again, I'm gonna click right here where it says aux 1. I'm gonna press Shift Command N again. Now these are gonna be for my verses. Basically same technique. If it's not fixed, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Basically, same basic technique. I'm gonna when I go to record my verses, I have my lead verse, I have my dub, I have in and outs, and I have ad libs. So that's 4 tracks right there alone. So I'm gonna type in another 4. I think it's Shift Command N. Yep. 1. If you want to do this all by keyboard, I suggest getting really in tune with the hotkeys on Pro Tools if you're really looking to do this as, you know, on a more advanced level, because the hotkeys are gonna be one of the main things that's gonna speed up your workflow and help you really move along faster in Pro Tools, and you won't get agitated as much. So I'm gonna hold down the Command key on the longer keyboard. I'm not sure if you can do this on the keyboard if you're using a laptop like I'm using, but on the longer keyboard, the actual desktop keyboard, you can actually hold down Command, and you can press left to change that from mono to stereo, and I'm pretty sure it's down to change the second one to an aux input. So I have that created. Boom. So now I have my hook right here with the aux. I have my verse right here with the aux. And once again, I'm gonna hold Option, and I'm gonna deselect those. So I have my hook, I have my verse with aux tracks. So that's my first verse, or you know, me, one single artist. If I wanted to add another artist, or if I was gonna be collaborating with somebody, I'll basically go down here and do the same thing. I would Shift Command N and put in 4 more tracks for that person to be able to record, so we both can have separate record lanes, basically what I call them. So since this is only going to be, I'm putting in perspective as if I'm only recording myself, I'm only going to add just this recording lane right here. All right, the next thing I want to do is set up some more aux input. Create. So now I got my master fader. And since I got no knobs right here, I'm gonna need something to control the outputs of my speakers. So I'm gonna click up here and I'm going to press Shift Command N, and I'm going to give myself a stereo aux input for my output. And I know all this stuff might seem jumbled up right now and confusing of what the hell I'm doing, but you're gonna get it in a minute. It's all gonna come together once the cake is start layering itself. Everything is gonna come together. You're gonna be able to see it more clearly on what I'm doing and why I do things this way. It's more about ease of access and basically a flow. Basically what I'm gonna do next, I'm gonna go ahead and start color coordinating these. So I'm gonna go Option, I'm gonna hold Shift, and since these are my course tracks, I'm gonna go ahead, I hold Shift and I click the last one down here to select all of these. And if you click over here where it's a little bit bluish, you can bring up this color palette right here. Excuse me guys, I have my dog in the room. He's been a pest right now. So me myself, I always like to think of the hook as the golden part of the song. This is what's going to carry the song. This is what's going to keep people attention on the song. The fuck are you chewing? Excuse my language. So I normally color that gold, and I'm gonna click Option to deselect those. And here I got my verses. I'm gonna press Shift once again. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this one, so I select all of these. Once again, green. I normally color my verses green because I like to think about the verses as being where the money at. That's what's gonna actually get you the bankroll right there. That's what's gonna, keep everybody in tune and really, push the record that you're trying to make. So I color those green, and I'm gonna press Option right here. Boom. As you can see, I'm gonna skip this aux. I'm gonna go to this aux, press Shift, and I'm gonna color these. These are gonna be for your effects. Basically, the ear candy is what I like to call it, the sweeteners. That really grab listeners' attention. Most of the time I record, I color these, I don't know. I had to keep it, I'm probably gonna keep it blue. Put it as blue. Press Option again and deselect. Select my master fader. You can keep it, I'll keep it that color because I really like to set once I set up a mic chain for recording, I like to color that up red. So since I got all that set up, so now you're basically getting a clue of what's going on here. You got your gold is for your hook chorus. You can actually go ahead and I would highly suggest labeling these. So I'm gonna put HK lead LD, command over, command right. I'm gonna say HK dub, HK I and / out. Then over here I'm gonna select HK ad libs. Okay, So now, as like I said, the cake is starting to layer itself. You're starting to notice what's going on here. You know, you got your hook lead, you got your hook dub, you got your hook in and out, you got your hook ad libs, and for this right here, this is gonna be your bus. What all of this is gonna be routed into. This is basically the thing that you're gonna. This is gonna be the track that you're gonna use to glue everything together to make everything sound as if it's fitting in one part of the spectrum. We'll talk a lot about spectrums in later videos. Right now, I just really want y'all to grasp the basics of setting up a Pro Tools template for recording. But I'm gonna name this hook bus. Bus. 2 S's, 1 S. I like to keep 2 S's because back in the gap, back in the G, when people first started recording, they would use 2 S's. So I'm a little bit of a old soul, so I like to keep things that way. So okay, so we got that set up. So the next thing you want to do is go in here and basically route everything. Alright guys, for the sake of time, I went ahead and set up the whole template. Just basically gonna run through it and tell you exactly what I did and why I did it. Because we already 23 minutes into this video, and I know y'all don't want to be boggled down and held down for hours listening to me talk about setting up this template, because it can get very detailed depending on how detailed of an engineer you are and how do you like to record. But this can be set up a numerous amount of ways, but this is the way I like to do it because it keeps it simple. And I also went ahead and added a couple tracks. I went ahead and added an instrumental track for the beat along with this bus, and as you can see, it's the same continuous pattern. I got a beat track, I add a bus to it, my hook, add a bus to it, verses, add a bus to it. Even these right here, you can add a bus to these right here as your effects group, basically. So you can monitor and change those how you see fit. I'm gonna switch over to my mix window real fast so you can see how things are set up over there too. So how it just looks over there. Give me 1 second. This thing is huge, so basically, okay, yeah. As you can see how everything looks, so you got your beat, bus, verses, bus, hook, bus, verses, bus. You got all your effects, your sweeteners, then you got your master, then you got your mic. And one reason why I set up a mic channel is because if you want to get those future type effects recorded into your vocals, but you have to be 100% sure you're gonna print these down, because other than that, you got to set up a headphone mix for your artist, which basically you can send these sweeteners and anything else you want to your artist. You have to set up one of those. But me myself, I go ahead with the commitment of, like, say if I was recording auto tune to an artist's vocals, then I would go ahead and commit into putting that auto tune into the vocals and fixing and post-production mixing stage. so yeah, enough with that tangent, because I'm pretty sure I probably just wasted 5 minutes just doing that right there. To go back and show you exactly what I did, or to reiterate on exactly what's going on. You have I set up all my hook tracks, so they right here. I ran them into my hook bus, so you see my output, just like I told you, fixing PS4 DVD player. I ran it out into my bus, so you see hook bus right here on the out. I ran it into the bus, out to the master. So This bus right here goes out to the master. Same thing. I set up a verse bus, which is right here, and I ran everything that has to do with the verse to it. And I'll show you how you do that. Basically, normally what I do, I go ahead and change them over here. So say if I was going to do, like I said, 1920, I would click that, rename it, verse bus, probably the same thing I got down here. And then I would go back over here. I would hold down shift. Well, actually I would bring up this screen. I would start holding down shift and option, and I would click verse bus. And the reason why I hold down shift option, because once again I tell you about those hotkeys and how well they flow and how they speed up your workflow. I would hold down shift option. So say if I hold down shift, deselect those, shift, boom, I select all of these right here. I would go up here, hold shift option, and so if I want to change all of these right here to 1920, hold shift option, boom, they all changed to 1920. I'm gonna change them back to verse bus. So we're gonna go here, boom, they all changed back to verse bus. And here, as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and click this into verse bus. So when I go ahead on my track for recording, you will see that everything should light up that has to do with the verse. So mic check, and we're definitely getting a little bit of technical difficulties, but there ain't nothing we can't work through. Let's go ahead and fix that. Oh, that's exactly what's happening right here. So this was routed into the music bus, which is the wrong bus. We just need to go change this to the verse bus. So now when I click record, boom, as you can see, I can hear myself coming through my cans because everything is over here has been routed. My verse bus is lit up, so that's letting me know that I'm getting signal to that. I'm getting signal here, I'm getting signal here, and I'm getting signal through my mic. Now, like I was explaining before, if I wanted to add auto tunes to my vocal and really wanted to commit to that and have that into my recording, then boom, I got auto tune to my vocal. Hey, let me buy you a drink. I know I'm not the best singer in the world, but as you can catch my drift. Let me buy you a drink. You catch my drift. And since I got this mic change set up right here, everything that I put right here is gonna affect when I'm speaking into the mic. Boom. And like I said, this could be set up a whole gist of ways. This is just one way that I set up my Pro Tools templates. I would definitely be leaving a link where I will include this template just in case you want to download it. Until the next video, I'm Bishop. It's Ganja House Studios. Hit me at ganjahousestudios@gmail.com if you need any mixing or consulting. One love, peace, good day, people.